we are gonna just chill for a sec because this demo right here is not only integral to the next presentation, it's actually critical to our survival as a species. Not a single laugh, not even a pity laugh. Let's do this. I'm gonna shut up for a second. Everybody play. I'm actually gonna play with you, and I'm gonna kind of take a poll in like 2 minutes. So please, play through this game. Please welcome to the stage Helen from Orange.
Imagine what it would feel like if you had X-ray vision for someone's character. If we had X-ray vision for character, you'd never end up hiring someone that talks a good game but can't actually deliver. You'd never waste time on another shitty first date where they're rude to the waitstaff. And you'd never end up investing in a founder who turns out to be a bad egg. That's because character isn't what someone says about themselves. It's what they do when their actions truly matter. We've been trying to crack this ever since the ancient Greeks carved "Know thyself" above their temples. And in every generation since, we invent new languages, new tools, and new systems to describe who we are. Today, we spend more than $65 billion a year chasing this problem of self-knowledge alone, because getting it right, understanding ourselves and each other, shapes every critical decision: who we hire, who we love, what we build. Yet, we still consistently get it wrong. And that's because every system shares the same fatal flaw. They capture what we say about ourselves and not what we actually do. Orange closes that gap. You all just experienced it yourselves, because the story that you all played at the very beginning, well, that's Orange in action. Who ended up investing? Okay. And who walked away from the investment altogether? Anyone get upset, annoyed? See, same story, same setup, but everyone ultimately took a different path and they ended up in a different direction. And that makes sense because what you choose to do is dictated by who you are. So our first product is called My Place, and it's a daily what would you do game. Every play is an opportunity to understand your own instincts and share those insights with others. And as you play more, you're building up your character sheet, which is what we call your behavioral profile. So that layer is really core to Orange as a system because for every playthrough you do, we're logging your choices and actions, macro, and also how you make those actions, micro. So things like your hesitation patterns, text length, if you wrote something that's a really long message but then erased it before you sent it. We then map all of this behavioral data to established frameworks like the Big Five or Hexaco, or we can translate it into any format that users prefer. Over time, this becomes a living model of one's behavior, dynamic, changing, proven through action. But how do we make sure that users don't run out of games to play? To do that, we use AI to create personalized stories, things like one-shots, multi-chapter interactive fiction, or even just a simple quiz. We then take all of that content and use it to programmatically generate the interface that users experience. So what that means in practice is that the David founder scenario that you all started could be reskinned into a debate with a colleague on a phone call, using the exact same behavioral tracking underneath. This setup is interesting because it also creates two powerful flywheels. Number one, it drives retention by delivering a smarter, more personalized experience with every play. And number two, it drives acquisition by generating endless scenarios to attract new users. Better retention and cheaper acquisition powered by the same engine. But the real question is, did we create an experience that people actually want? And so to answer that, we ran a few anonymous tests. Completely cold, no friends, no brand, no audience. That brought in over 1,000 early players. 65% of them completed the full 2-minute experience. And at first, we were seeing 14% of these players playing more than one game in the same session. Not bad, but today we've doubled that to 28%. And the 28% who are replaying from cold are playing 2.7 games on average. Now, if you're familiar at all with consumer, you know that these numbers are extremely good, especially on a janky site. But the signal isn't just coming from users. We already have multiple companies with over 4 million in combined reach wanting to use Orange as interactive content to engage their communities. So the validation is clear. Users stay, and companies want in. Now, let's talk vision, because we're going to start by perfecting one thing, a product people love, something that shows you who you actually are through your words and your actions. Because the tools we use today to try to understand yourself is through unreliable self-reports or ambient monitoring that's always watching. But Orange is different, because you're opting in to play. You're in the driver's seat. And the more you play, the more you learn about your hidden patterns, and the better the decisions you make. And that's our core loop. But here's the next challenge, because now you've built the most accurate reflection of yourself, but yet every platform you use still treats you like a stranger. You're constantly re-explaining the sentiment of who you are to the various tools that you use. But with Orange, we're building towards your data being portable. That means instead of just starting fresh from scratch everywhere, you can plug that same data in anywhere. Imagine LinkedIn now knowing how you actually solve problems and communicate, not just a list of your past jobs. Or using these insights for things like therapy, whether you go to a human therapist or you're onboarding into an AI platform for therapy in the future. This makes possible a world where you're hired, matched, and understood based on who you truly are, not just what you say, but also what you do. Let's zoom out even further. Because right now, I'm sure you all as investors understand, we're pouring billions of dollars into making AI smarter, more embedded, and everywhere around us. As we march towards that world, I genuinely believe that what we're building is the foundation of a new kind of human ID. Though I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, especially because I haven't even introduced who I am. So hello, everyone. I'm Helen. I'm a Waterloo grad, but I studied earth science, not computer science, and I taught myself everything I needed to know to build a career in tech. I've been a PM at Zynga, where I literally worked on daily games for millions of monthly active users before moving over to Microsoft. I then quit to co-found an experiential education company, which we built to 7 figures, fully bootstrapped and profitable. But honestly, all of that tells you what I've done, but not how I think, and not what I do. So let me show you my place instead. Zynga taught me that how someone plays tells you a lot about them. My first company taught me that people learn by doing, and not from theory. And those same principles are what drives Orange. I've also spent my entire career being put into boxes that never quite fit. So if I'm building a new language for identity, it's because I know what it feels like to be misread by one. So please don't pattern match my resume and just watch how I build instead. Speaking of building, what's next after demo day? Everything you've seen so far has been built by me and one part-time engineer over the past 12 weeks, though that's been completely by design. Move fast, test fast, and only scale once the signal is clear. Now our next 6 months are laser focused. Hire for full-time. We're gonna build a better profile view, daily retention loops, expand our scenario library. And as we do this, we'll also build out a waitlist and come out of stealth as we convert my own audience of 30,000 and personal email list of 10,000 into willing participants and testers of Orange. Plus, we are definitely going to continue testing, and continue experimenting. Now, these past few weeks have flown by, though we've captured so many early signals that really point to something real, a new language for identity. One that truly knows you, one that you fully own, one that plugs into all of the other systems and tools that we use today, one that preserves our human edge, and one that's genuinely just fun. I'm super excited to be building towards this future, and if this excites you as well, I would love to chat. Thank you.